an interactive segment where we'll be looking at certain realistic goals for 2021. How do you achieve it? And what do you need to do in order to put your goals into an achievable plan? At the beginning of every year, we have a new thought in our mind of starting our plans, ambitions, and inspirations that will keep on going and make our life worth living. But at the beginning of every year, with all of our items listed on our agenda book, how easy is it for us to actually achieve it before the end of the year? What measures need to be put in place in achieving such measures? What conditions are necessary for achieving our goals? How realistic will the goal be in order for one to achieve such goals? We'll be looking at all of this process. My guest will do justice to questions or process this morning is business consultant and founder Global Influencer Network, Jim Africa, is Uzochukwu Emmanuel, aka King of Public Speaking. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on
Good
TV.
morning. Thank you for putting this together.
Okay, straight. Let's go over to a focus. We're talking about realistic goal. But before we talk about realistic goal, let's go to a goal setting. What do we mean when we say goal setting?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much for that. You know, I need to establish this fact. A lot of people get it wrong. They think that goals and goal setting are the same. They are not.
Okay,
you know,
simplify it for us.
Thank you. Now, every 31st night, December, right? Every year, people take a pen and then they write what they want to and all of that, right? And then they go to church, they pray and speak the language of angels and all of that. Now, they get home and keep it somewhere. At the end of the year, there is no tangible difference between the new year and the old year, right? The previous year, rather, right? Now, this is because they do not understand that goals and goal setting are two different things, right? When we talk about goals, what you want to achieve, your aspirations, what you want to see at the end of the year, exactly. But when we talk about goal setting is you devising a plan. It's just like when you go to the market to buy meat, raw meat, right? You can't eat it like that. Right, so goal setting is you devising a plan on how do I intend to achieve this, right? And then we also need to understand something, that goal setting does 4 major things for you. Number 1, it gives you clarity on what to do. Number 2, it gives you direction on how to do it. And number 3, it tells you to stay focused. And then number 4, it keeps you motivated. So I think this is the foundation. People need to understand that just having goals and goal setting are two different things. So goal setting is you devising a plan. And we'll talk about plans, not just the plan in the head. A lot of people, if you ask them what are your plans, it's still here, right? You have to put it down on paper.
Just like the scriptures, they say write it plainly.
Exactly, so that you can run with it when you look at it. Thank you, yeah.
Okay, let's go over now. What are the key ingredients or principles that should be considered when we are setting our goals? Okay,
I think the major thing is, the first thing is you being clear, right? When we talk about that, you say you have to be very specific. What exactly do you want? For example, you want to read books, you want to improve and expand your knowledge, right? Okay, what kind of books do you want to read? But most importantly, how many books do you want to read? Right? Because it's going to help you to have direction. And then for those in business, if you want to make money, don't say, I want to make more money 2021. No, that's not goal setting. How much exactly? Right?
Even when you don't have the means.
There should be a means. Okay, now getting to know exactly what you want will help you to know how to achieve this. Right? That's what we're talking about, the means and all of that. So as a business person, how much do you want to make? For example, we have 12 months in a year.
Okay.
Let's say you want to make 1.2 million naira. 12 months in a year, 1.2 million naira, that means 100,000 every month. Right? So you knowing exactly what you want, that's the first step.
Clarity.
Yeah, clarity, yeah. Exactly.
Okay. So what other principles or measures in it?
There are so many principles. Now, number 2, you need to put it down on paper, right? Getting to know what you want. And there are so many areas of your life where you can set your goals, but time will not permit us to go into that. But I'm just going to give a general answer to that. You can use it to apply. All right, now, number 1 is clarity. Number 2 is putting it down on paper. Then number 3 is setting a deadline. Like I said, yes, setting a deadline. Okay. Right? Now, setting a deadline is actually going to give you this sense of urgency right? For example, I launched a product last year, and from creating that product, right, letting people know about the product and launching it was 14 days.
Okay.
14 days. From creating everything was 14 days. Right now, I gave myself that deadline because I knew that I wanted to achieve this. And so we used an example when we talked about if you want to make 1.2 million and 100,000, right? Very, very nice. Now, if you say you want to make 100,000 naira in a month, don't say I'm going to make that 100,000 within 30 days. You may not achieve that.
Okay.
So you have to set a target. You can tell yourself, okay, before 20th, I should have made my 100K. So I can plan ahead for the next month. You can even make more than 100K.
Okay.
And you going for 100K, you now look at yourself and ask yourself, my product, how much is it? Because to make 100K, if your product is 100,000, that means you need to sell to one person.
Okay.
If your product is 50,000, you need to sell to two persons. It gives you clarity and direction, right? And so you setting your goals and telling yourself, I should achieve this before time, right? That's the first thing. And then knowing the amount of your product or the service you want to render to people will also help you to know the number of people you're going to reach out to. Now, I said that earlier, but if you want to sell, for example, your product is let's say 20,000 naira. Okay. That means to make 100,000, you need to sell to 5 people. Now, your intention should not be to reach out to only 5 people because there is no probability. Exactly. So there is no probability that you're going to get those 5 people to buy from you. All right, we have thousands of people everywhere, both online and offline, right? So you have to devise a means of reaching to more people so that the probability of you selling to the 5 people is going to be high, and you can even sell more than that, right? For me, if I want to target 5 people, I should be targeting more than 500 people in a month. I can make more than that, right? So that is it. So you have to gain clarity and set a deadline. And we'll talk about setting deadline. It depends on the kind of goal. Now, I smashed the goal within 14 days, like I said earlier. There was another goal I set that took me 3 months, right? I launched a major program last year. That was December. It was a 3-day program, and we had people. It was actually a conference, right? A virtual conference, and we had people registered from over 19 countries. Now, this is not something I could just do in one day, right? So I needed a plan. So I make sure that I went through it, but I didn't do that alone. I think I'm going to come to that later. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So what you just made mention, you talked about clarity, you talked about duration.
Yeah, sure.
There's this, the smart agenda of goal setting.
Yeah.
Is this with these principles that you just
discussed? No. I'm talking about what has worked for me.
What has worked for me. Okay.
And if I want to talk about it, I'm going to mention about 7 things, right?
Okay.
Yeah, 7 things. Number 1 is clarity.
Okay.
Number 2, that's being specific. Then number 2 is you writing it on paper. And number 3 is you setting a deadline, right? Then number 4 is how do you intend to achieve it?
Okay.
What skills do you need? What kind of information? What knowledge? What are the potential obstacles you're going to encounter, right? And then number 5, talking about you have to break it down.
Okay, smaller unit.
Yes, smaller unit to months, to weeks, and to days, right? If you want to read books, for example, you want to read, I believe you don't have lazy people around. You want to read, you should not just read 12 books. It's too small, right?
In a year.
Yes, it's too small. Right? Okay, let's say you want to read like us. Maybe you want to read 4 books or more. Let's say you want to read 4 books. That means you want to read 48 books in a year. That is 4 books in a month. Okay. And the first thing is this: 1 book every week. Now, if the book is 350 pages, you are going to divide 350 by 7.
Okay.
That is 50. Every single day, 50 pages. So you will discipline yourself enough to read 50 pages every day. And for me, I don't know what works for others. I love reading every morning. Okay. Right? It really works for me. So you breaking it down in order of priority and sequence. We'll talk about priority. When you want to achieve a goal in a day, the question is, after writing them down, what is the toughest task in this list? Take it first. If you start with the ones that are very easy to achieve, you may not achieve the rest, right? So you have to put, okay, this is number 1, this is number 2, just in that sequence, and you go ahead and do it. You'll be able to achieve it.
Okay, before we talk about the areas that involve goal setting, let's look at meeting up realistic goals and reasons why people fail in realizing their goals. At the beginning of each year, we have goals, we have aspirations and dreams of what we intend to achieve in another year. And before the first quarter, second quarter, you see that a number of persons are weighing out already. Their goals were they didn't even start it before talking about achieving it.
Yeah.
Are some goals setting not too realistic to be achieved? For instance, you earn 100,000 naira,
okay,
you're thinking of going into a business or starting up a scholarship scale or going to a school system that needs you to pay as much as 1 million within 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
Would that not be an unrealistic goals that you've set for yourself?
That is why I said you have to set goals that are realistic. Like when we say realistic, you have to be sure that
measurable to the scenario, the situations facing you.
Exactly. Except you have another source of getting your income or something, right? You have to check what you have at your disposal,
okay,
right, to make sure that this is actually possible, right? But there are some things that do happen. Mm-hmm. When I launched that program 3 months, and now if they told me the obstacles I was to encounter, I would have given up.
Okay. I wanted to go there.
Yes, I would have given up.
Situations.
Yes, if they told Joseph, right, that you're going to be betrayed, you'll go to the prison, they'll lie against you. You would have actually told God, I'm sorry, I need to remain here, right? So the thing is, have enough information. The Bible talked about calculating the cost. Now the cost here is having enough information. See, nature has a way of making things work together for your good. When I started this project, if they told me that, you're going to encounter, I faced betrayal. People I told about it, they gave up along the line.
Okay.
But there was a replacement in a way that I never imagined, right? So the thing is, set your goals and go all out. Nature has a way of rewarding people who do not give up on what they want to achieve, actually, right? And then be disciplined enough to walk through that. Right, and you have to be self-motivated as well. Okay,
you talked about unforeseen situation, just like you just made mention of obstacles. What happens when you have already set your goal running and you are already pursuing your goal, and these unexpected disaster obstacle comes in? How easily do you face it and move up?
Yeah, that is where you need a team. Anyway, depending on how big or how huge the goals are, right? Now, when I launched that product for 14 days, I didn't need anybody to work with me, right? But the other one, I needed people, right? And then there were challenges that they helped me out, right? So when you are setting your goal, it's not to yourself. You need people. And then there are people who would see that, like, you're taking care of this project, right? Okay, I can help you out, right? It is just natural, except you decide to keep it to yourself and then not say it to no one. Okay. Right? So that is it.
Okay, let's look at the areas where goal setting is necessary. What areas in one's life should goal setting be considered?
Goal setting is actually necessary in many areas. You need that in your finance.
Okay.
Very important. In fact, that's number one, right? In your career. And then you need that in your spiritual life, spiritual people. Okay. You need that in your family as well. Right? What about your social life? And then intellectual, of course, you want to become better, right? And then we also have, how many did I mention now?
Spiritual, career, finance, your social life, 4.
Okay. I mentioned intellectual, finance, social life. Then I mentioned family. Yeah, I didn't mention family, sorry. Okay. Family, your relationships and all of that. And then I talked about career, talking about finance. Okay. Right? Then physical as well. You want to keep fit? Yes, sure. Maybe you want to keep fit, you want to lose weight, other stuff, right? So, yeah.
Okay, I think I would like to pick one of those that you just mentioned, social life.
Yeah.
How do you set a goal towards that and makes it achievable, especially when you have a play system already? For instance, you are one that is very friendly, sociable, easily attracts friends. And now, 2021, you said, I need to restrict my movement, going to parties, limited. I don't go to parties except the person is very close. And now you have a situation, your characteristics or your behavior that is opposite to your goals that you set.
And first,
how do you work it out?
It's very simple. You knowing what you want, right? And respecting yourself enough.
Respecting.
Exactly. Right? So first you have to decide that I'm going to give up on these people. You just have to do it. Right? And then there are other people who think like you, who can make you to become better at what you do and every other thing. So you need to understand that giving up is a skill. Right? One of my role models, Olakule Shoriyo, said something. He said, let people qualify for the investment of your time and energy. So the people you want to give up, the Egyptians, right? They do not qualify for the investment of your time and energy. So you should make up your mind. Now, another thing is, a lot of people have, because, okay, this person is so close to me, but it's actually, the energy of this person is contagious, like it's a negative energy. I don't need it. You need to understand that whether the person is too close to you or something, if you truly want to move forward, you have to cut them off first before you think of making new friends. And of course, there are friends everywhere on social media. You have role models, you have your mentors and all of that. You follow them through and you're good. So from there, you can get new people attracted to you. That's it. So you attract what you are.
What you are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there were situations or scenarios where you attract what you're not, the opposite of who you are.
It's up to you to accept it.
Okay.
Right? You can hold on or you let go.
Okay.
So that is it.
Okay. Okay. Quickly, as we get to wrap it up, let's look at scenarios where goals fail and what you need to do, and how often do you need to review your goals in order to make it achievable.
Yes, you have to review your goals. That's why we say
Achievable.
Yes, you have to review your goals. That's why we say you set your goals.
How often? 1 month, 2 weeks, 3 months, 6 months?
You have a goal for the year.
Yes.
Break it down to months.
Okay.
Then for the month, you break it down to weeks. And weeks, you break it down to days. Right? Now, the weekend, this is weekend, right? I plan ahead for the next week.
Okay.
This is what I want to achieve. Then by Saturday evening, I say, okay, fine. Since I already have what I want to achieve from Monday to Saturday, what do I need to achieve on Sunday? You write it down Saturday night. When you're done with Sunday, you plan ahead for Monday, right? Okay. Just like that. So you have to just break it down. And then when it fails, you have to look at it again. You ask yourself, okay, where did I fail? What went wrong? Right? Life is about asking questions. And so if you can answer this question, you're good to go. You can get back on your feet.
Okay, there's this belief that whatever you say, it is backed by God, and you need the spiritual part of it. When you are setting goals, do you need the spiritual part of it to make it work effectively?
Actually, yes. Right? For those of us who are spiritual people.
Okay.
But there is something you need to understand, that nature is a spiritual force.
Okay.
And guess what? It works for everyone.
Even the one you don't know.
I'm telling you, there are people who are not believers, so to speak, right? But things just work for them because they are rugged.
Okay.
And they just want to make this happen. And so nature, the universe, there is something we call the law of attraction. Okay. You are constantly attracting anything you think, right? So there are some people who are church goers, but their thoughts are negative. But there are people who are not, but they are always positive. And then life sees it and bring everything. So that's the law of attraction, right? It works for everyone. So you understanding that life is a spiritual place, right? Okay. And the universe is spiritual, and you have to work on your mindset, right? So it has to be positive all the time so that things can work together for your good. Like I said, I had people that gave up along the line, but then there are other people that came stood by me, people I never met. Okay. Like, you understand? So that is it. Okay,
talking about failing when it comes to goal setting, how easily can you wake up and restart your energy and start pursuing your goals?
First is your motive, right? The question I want to ask someone out there is this: how bad do you want your life to get transformed? That's talking about hunger. You see, your level of hunger will determine your level of achievement. There are people who work, there's this interview I watched, and Dangote was interviewed, and they asked him, sir, how many hours do you work? He said, I don't work 12 hours, I work 18 hours, right? And look at how great he is. But there are some people who want to become great, young people, and they are sleeping 8 hours every day.
That's a normal sleeping hour.
Oh, really? And then 8 hours times
so get a relaxed
7.
Mind.
8 hours times 7 is about 56 or so. That means you're sleeping 2 days every week.
Okay.
You understand that? So the thing is, how hungry are you So it's your level of hunger. Like, God, I want this. That's why someone can be awake, making things happen while others are sleeping. So it is for you to sit down and say, okay, fine. Failure is part of the process. I mean, in tomorrow when I've succeeded, when I'm telling people my story, it is this failure story that is going to get them motivated, inspired, and be like, wow, if this guy went through this and I'm going through this now, that means it can work for me. So that's going to help you to get back on your feet and plan again and do your stuff.
Okay, just quickly as we get set to wrap it up, 2021 is here again, and number of goals have been set, aspirations put in place. What word will you say to people out there?
Okay, I said you need setting your goals and all of that stuff. You need people and you need a person. Now, people, in the sense that if your goals is a very large, a very huge one, right? You need a team to work together. Like the program I talked about that took me 3 months, I had a lot of people that worked with me. Okay. It was a 3-day program. We had 10 speakers, we had volunteers, and we had over 30 people working with me that made that happen. And then number 2 is you need an accountability partner. Someone who knows about your goals. Someone you say, okay, fine, this is what I want to achieve. Someone that you are accountable to, just like teacher giving an assignment to the students, right? And then you not tell them, okay, this is the deadline and everything. And when you're done, they will check out on that and make sure that you are able to achieve your goals, right? For those who are married, I always tell them, okay, fine, I think your partner should be your accountability partner, right? Then for those of us who are still young, we have our friends, right? And you may not have them around you, right? They're always on social media and all of that. So you need to have an accountability partner, and then you need to discipline yourself enough, just enough, to make this happen. And of course, you take action, and things will just work together for good.
Okay, before I let you go, you just made mention of one. I would know that a number of scenarios have actually, you talked about making someone know your goal and making someone accountable for your goal. Yes. Without instances where you tell people about your goals or your visions, or your dreams, and eventually they see your ideas.
Yes, exactly.
What happens in such scenario?
The thing is, once you set your goals, the next thing is to act on it. So when you're giving it to someone, make sure that you've already started acting, right? So it is you delaying and sitting back that someone can just steal your idea. So you don't have to be scared of that, right? It is up to you. Right, so don't just delay, right? Go all out to make it happen.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, this is where we must wrap it up, or the segment this morning, setting realistic goals for 2021. Yes, we're truly facing 2021 January, and a number of persons have actually set their goals in mind. You need to achieve this goal for this year, 2021, but you must put into consideration clarity, fixed duration. You must also make your goals simple, measurable, and also your goals must be achievable. Some persons just set up goals that are unrealistic and cannot be achievable. You need to make your goals achievable and look at the scenario before you set your goal. This is wishing you all that 2021 will be a year of successful goal that will be achieved in your life, in all areas of your life. I'd like to say big thanks especially to Uzochukwu Emmanuel, aka King of Public Speaking, a business consultant and founder, Global Influencer Network, Gym Africa. Thank you for being our guest this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, your morning breakfast show is still very much on. Don't go anywhere. Shortly, we'll be giving you another fun-filled moment. Just stay tuned.